The screen opens in absolute darkness, the kind that feels thick and suffocating, as if the air itself has weight. No music plays, only a faint electrical hum vibrating in the background like old wires hidden inside the walls of an empty house. After a few seconds, a distorted emergency call slowly fades in, layered with static and interference. A woman's voice trembles, barely louder than a whisper, begging the operator not to hang up. Somewhere behind her, a floorboard creaks, slow and deliberate, followed by the soft sound of something brushing against a wall. The call abruptly cuts to silence. White letters type onto the screen one by one with mechanical clicks. Midnight. Files. Case 007. The narrator speaks calmly, almost emotionless. Most people think danger lives outside their homes, on dark streets, in unknown places. But sometimes the worst threat is already inside, waiting, listening, learning your routine before you ever realize you're not alone. Evelyn Moore was 40 years old and lived by herself in a small suburban house in Ohio. She worked remotely, rarely went out at night, and followed the same daily schedule so precisely that her neighbors could predict when her lights would turn off. No enemies, no recent conflicts, no financial issues. Her life was quiet, structured, forgettable. At exactly 1:12 a.m., emergency services received a call from her cell phone. The dispatcher answered, expecting a wrong number or a routine complaint. Instead, she heard Evelyn whispering, like she was hiding. She said she could hear footsteps in her hallway, slow ones, not rushing, not sneaking, just walking calmly from room to room. She swore every door had been locked before bed, every window sealed. Yet something inside the house kept opening doors gently, one at a time, like it was exploring the place in the dark. The operator instructed her to leave immediately. But Evelyn replied that she couldn't reach the exit because whatever was inside had moved between her and the front door. Her breathing became uneven, shaky, like she was crouched behind furniture trying not to be seen. On the recording, you can hear faint scraping sounds, something dragging lightly across the wooden floor. Then a soft click, like a doorknob turning. The operator kept her talking, asking her to describe what she saw. Evelyn said the hallway light had turned on by itself. She hadn't touched the switch. Shadows were stretching across the walls. Then she whispered something that investigators later said gave them chills. She said, "It's walking like it knows the house better than I do." 6 minutes away, the nearest patrol car accelerated toward her address while the line stayed open. Police arrived exactly 6 minutes later. The neighborhood was still and silent. No movement, no broken glass, no sign of forced entry. The front door was unlocked. Officers entered carefully with flashlights raised, announcing themselves loudly. Inside, the house looked normal, almost staged. A mug of tea still warm on the table. Television playing at low volume. A blanket folded on the couch. Everything suggested someone had just stepped away for a moment. But Evelyn wasn't anywhere. As they searched the hallway, one officer noticed strange marks across the floorboards. Long, thin drag lines, parallel to each other, stretching toward the bedroom, like something heavy had been pulled slowly through the house. There were no footprints, no scuff marks from shoes, just those lines, smooth and deliberate, disappearing into the darkness. Her phone was discovered on the bedroom floor, screen cracked but still connected to the emergency operator. The dispatcher's voice echoed faintly through the speaker, still calling her name. The bed was untouched, windows locked from the inside, closet empty, attic and basement clear. No intruder, no hiding place, no body, nothing. It was as if Evelyn had simply stopped existing mid-step. Days later, Forensic technicians enhanced the audio from the call, isolating background frequencies. That's when they discovered a second breathing pattern underneath hers. Slower, deeper, too consistent to be static, too close to be an echo. At two separate moments, a faint imitation of her whisper can be heard, like something trying to copy her voice but failing to form proper words. Not speaking, practicing, mimicking, learning how she sounded while standing only inches away from the phone. Security cameras from neighboring houses showed no one entering or leaving during the entire night. No vehicles, no shadows crossing the yard. Nothing. The house had effectively been sealed, yet Evelyn Moore vanished from inside it in less than 6 minutes. Monks later, new owners moved in and quickly reported footsteps in the hallway at night, doors slowly opening by themselves, and twice the landline mysteriously dialing emergency services without anyone touching it. Both calls lasted exactly 6 minutes before disconnecting. When operators answered, they heard only breathing on the other end. No voice. Just quiet listening. The final shot shows the empty hallway under dim light, every door slightly open. The narrator lowers his voice one last time. Some cases are crimes, others are tragedies. And then there are the ones that feel like something else entirely. Like the house didn't lose a person, but kept. Juan. The screen fades to black. White text appears. Evelyn Moore, still missing. A final breath plays through the static. Then silence.